I got it in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition online role-playing adventures. We live stream our sessions Friday evening. You can keep up with our adventures on YouTube, as well as catch weekly recaps on RogueWatson.com. I'm Chris, your Dungeon Master, and I am joined by our awesome players. Eric, playing Kazan, the half-elf Warlock Paladin. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
Heather, playing Brysis, the Tiefling Sorcerer. Hello, Heather.
Hello.
Reese playing Tim, the Warforged Cleric Fighter. Hello, Reese. Rochelle playing. I'm on my script while I'm saying these things. So if you guys make some visual joke, I'm not getting it.
You just count like to 5 in your head. And
yeah, and then Rochelle playing Corinne, the Blue Dragonborn Sorcerer. Hello, Rochelle.
Hello.
And Raymond playing Halfred, the Halfling Ranger. Hello, Raymond.
Hello.
We use Roll20.net for our tabletop campaign. We were using Skype for video chat. Now we are, if you can't tell from looking at us, we are attempting to use Roll20 itself for video chat. It'll look better next week. This week was we were testing it out, and it's a little rough. I just sort of tried to size the window.
And we couldn't be bothered to do it before the session started.
No, I get home from work 5 minutes before the session starts.
I was gonna say, you got it on like a minute after.
Wow.
9 o'clock.
Yeah. Where was I? And I'm recording it all using Open Broadcaster software. That hasn't changed. Previously on, I'm pretty sure that's gonna freak me out for a while.
God, it freaks me out too. I keep thinking like, she's come downstairs. What's going on?
It's
Go get a crappier microphone, Heather.
Wrap
So-
it up in like a paper towel.
I don't know if
He needs to
you.
realize this is his fault. He gave me this thing for my birthday.
I mean, I don't. So
It's really good.
I'll be interested to hear what people who are watching actually can hear, or what the YouTube sounds like, because if you can't tell from listening to it, Heather sounds really good, like freakishly good, and the rest of us sound like we're on a phone call,
Yeah.
and it's disconcerting whenever
We're
she
just gonna let
speaks.
Heather do the narration now.
I'll just mute myself for the rest of the campaign.
Don't worry about me. I sound too good. Okay, the recap. As the Oracle concluded imparting his information on the party, detailing the next steps needed to stem the chaos of the broken giant ordning, he imparted one last bit of advice. Run. It happened that while the Oracle looked for the Blue Dragoness, she had seen him as well, and was now there at the temple. The Oracle warned them that they could not stand against her yet, and then they were off. They raced outside to the main chamber, but the ancient dragon was already there. This was their first time seeing her in the flesh, a huge, wicked-looking blue dragon with a large, jagged ivory horn jutting from her head. She skulked towards them, sneering and taunting them as she approached. Harshnag had a plan and ordered the rest to flee. They remembered the small tunnels to the north that led outside, thinking it their best escape. Kazan became emboldened, however. He had lost a giant mentor to this dragon, and we refused to lose another giant ally to her. Harshnag tried to get him to flee, but Kazan was resolute. So Harshnag made a final ploy. He struck the statue of Anum, the All-Father, causing the temple to begin to shake and fall apart around them. With one last plea to escape and finish what they had started, Harshnag charged the dragon. With one final parting shot at the dragon and a promise of revenge, Kazan rejoined his friends, and they all fled through the tunnels. And Kazan, you may have a point of inspiration. They reached the end of the tunnels, the path behind them crumbling as they went. At the cliff, they weren't even terribly surprised when they spotted Klaus' airship headed their direction. Bryces used her magic pixie dust to allow them all to fly aboard, and the ship began to take them back to the Red Dragon. During the trip, they identified the items they had gathered there: a blasting hammer, an empowering crystal wand, a pike able to target 2 targets at once, and a plate mail that changed its defensive properties at random. On their return to Clouth, they got a heavy dose of his petty cruelty. He was eager to hear of the run-in with his former dragon ally, and his reward was to tell each of them in turn some relevant secret knowledge, though in the cruelest fashion the dragon could manage. He informed Kazan that the members of the Mind's Eye, his order of psychics, had been either destroyed or converted by the Kraken Society. He told Tim that the secrets of his true self could only be found by reading the journal he held in the cabin in which it was written. He told Halford that his master, Woosp Wayne, had been captured by the Kraken Society, which he had been spying on. For Bryces, the Weevil had escaped and had informed the Kraken Society about their halfling spy, and was out for revenge. And for Corinne, that her best fighters and mages of her tribe had not been saved, but had been taken by the Dragoness for some unknown purpose, which Clouth implied was somehow related to Tim. Clouth also offered them another offer, to bring him the horn of the Blue Dragoness for a blessing. Kazan was immediately wary of the offer, and the dragon's motives behind it, and combined with his malicious behavior, the group had had quite enough of that red dragon. They left to board Klaus' airship, which took them to Neverwinter. During the journey, Kazan learned all about the workings of the airship via a fire and air elemental locked in perpetual battle. He and Halfred decided to attempt a bit of sabotage on the ship as it dropped them off, but Kazan couldn't quite accomplish the task, and the airship sailed away unharmed. In Neverwinter, Bryces rushed to Miri's home to learn that the Weevil had indeed escaped, killing his guards in the process. Both were furious, and the party now clearly had another task on their hands, with the first step being checking in with the Harper leader known as Crowan Valharo in Everland. And that is where you guys are at. You are currently in Neverwinter at the Grey Castle Estate.
Who remembers why we didn't kill the Weevil?
I wanted to kill the Weevil. I was told to leave him alive.
Point the fingers.
He gave us information at some point. I don't remember what it was though. It was.
I'm pretty sure it was probably Kazan.
Probably. He told us about one of the sites we went to.
He did give you. I think he gave you your first 2 or 3 sites. Actually, he set you on that path
Giant
before you
relics.
found Harshnag.
Been a while ago.
Yeah, but when you went to go talk to Miri, it was already late in the day. The trip from the Clouthen Vale to Neverwinter was a full 3 days, and the end of the 3rd day is when you had landed. So as evening approaches, Miri offers to allow you all to sleep at her estate for the night before making the journey to Everland. And assuming you accept...
Do you guys want to do that, or do you want to go to do Tim's thing?
Oh, yeah, you are...
Can't we teleport down to there?
We're pretty close.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Show us the...
Yeah, I'll take you to the world map.
Picture.
Let's go to the world map. You
Can we
are...
teleport down there?
You are in Neverwinter. Yeah, you could teleport to Waterdeep. And...
Go. Yeah.
And from Waterdeep, you
Just
could
back
go
to Nightstone.
back to Nightstone. Yeah, you could just go back there.
Might as well just do that while we're in between things.
Yeah.
One of our horses are just kind of still off on the side of the road.
We have horses?
You did
We
for a
did
little
when we
while.
first got there.
Yeah, when you first left Nightstone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So okay. So for the night, though, she offers to let you stay there at her estate.
Oh, yeah, let's level up.
Would you like to long rest?
Yes.
All right, and as you long rest here at the Great Castle Estate, you feel yourself become stronger.
Dun dun dun.
Your experience in battle has taught you many things. Let's just go down the line of the video chat and start with Bryce's.
Wee.
What is Bryce's doing at level 9?
So, with my creepily good microphone here,
I'm getting used to it already. It sounds good, but I'm getting used to it. It no longer sounds like you're right next to me.
so while we were in Klaus's cave, I kind of took a dragon scale from him, and with that,
Wait, off of him?
yeah, sure, why not? I found one. I didn't say
You
where it
found
came
one,
from.
okay.
Crowbar.
Yeah.
Keep talking to him.
He was on a tangent. He didn't even notice. So with that, I got rid of one of my second level spells and got a new one. So, Agonizar's Scorcher.
Okay. What'd you lose?
Blindness, deafness.
Okay.
I think I tried to use it like twice and it never worked. So.
I give
pieced
up
it
on
out.
you. Yeah.
hmm
Line of roaring flame, 30 feet long and 5 feet wide.
The name of that sounds like the hottest level of buffalo wings at a restaurant.
Again, Azar is the chef.
Do you want honey barbecue or Cajun or agonized scorcher?
So, yeah, it does more damage the higher level you cast it.
Okay. Your level higher.
And then
Yeah.
for my fifth level, I took Animate Object.
That fun spell,
Yeah,
yes.
those paragraphs.
Yep.
Look at all that word.
And there's more in the book that I didn't put in there.
Yeah.
Oh, and then our proficiency bonus went up from 3 to 4.
That's right, it did. So yeah.
So I can animate up to 10 objects, but bigger ones cost me more number of objects. So I can go up to huge and get 1 huge and 2 tinies.
Now these are you generate the no, there has to be an object that already
Oh.
exists.
It has to be, yeah, it has to be already there.
Okay.
So we go to
And then as a bonus
places
action,
that have statues.
you turn the statues into animated attack dogs.
Nice.
I can
Alright.
tell them to attack people.
Yeah. You use your bonus action to command them, and then they do what you want to do.
The player's handbook has the chart that talks about the HP level and all of that for
Right.
the different sizes.
Yes.
I did not include that in here.
Okay.
So
I may go ahead and make you tokens for your sizes.
Yeah, it's in the compendium if you search.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, and it's got all the information on there.
Gotcha. Cool.
let's
That
have some fun with this.
yeah, that'll be one of those spells that, like Fog Cloud, that changes the dynamic of the fight drastically.
God, you
Well,
forget
right
that.
now I'm just contemplating pulling out the little Insta hut and animating that. See
Oh
what
my
happens.
god, that's cool.
Have it walk over. Do.
Holy shit.
Technically, it would hover because it doesn't have legs.
That's true. It would.
So it would hover and has a flying speed of 30.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's
Because then I could just like open the door, go inside,
gonna feel
animate
weird to
the
sleep
object,
inside
and
of
then
it.
just move it.
Yep. I will say the only. Well, I mean, you can't do something bigger than huge, right?
Yep.
So I would say the only caveat to that is once you transform it, you would lose control of that object. I don't know.
Well, it says if it goes to 0 hit points, it reverts back to its normal. Its original
No, I
state.
mean, oh, okay. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
That's the only reason I would consider it, because it
Yeah.
reverts back to its
It
original
does
state.
go back, right? Fascinating. Okay.
hmm
You want to roll your hit die?
Oh yeah. Let's see here. What do I have here? I have a D6.
So Christopher, you need to make a token of a giant fucking like castle tower fort thing.
Hey, look at that.
Nice.
I now have 57 hit points.
Okay.
I am cooking with gas at this point.
Kazan, what are you doing at level 9?
I'm gonna take my 4th level of Paladin, which gives me my ability score increase or feat. And I'm going to take a feat. I took Resilient, which is just kind of boring. You can choose one ability and raise it by 1 point, and also gain proficiency in that saving throw. And since I sacrificed my item to the giant gods and got a 15 Constitution, I used that to raise my Constitution to a 16.
Oh, okay.
And I have a +3 Constitution and proficiencies in saving throws for Constitution. So my saving throw went from +2 to +7.
Wow.
And then the raising Constitution, if I did the math right, gave me another 8 hit points because you get the retroactive.
It's retroactive, right? Yeah.
Modifier for all the levels.
Yep.
And then starting it now at level 9, I'll just use the new number. So.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. I get one new paladin spell prepared that I have prepared because it's level of paladin divided by 2, so going to 4 gave me 1 more. But
okay.
Paladin first level spells kind of suck. I took Tech Evil and Good because I was kind of a Jedi.
Okay.
Thing,
Yeah.
Dealing out stuff. Although I'll probably never use it, but there you go. That's it.
Cool, cool. All right, you want to roll your hit die? You want to take your 6? Or is your hit die really a D10? I guess.
Yeah.
That's
with the Paladin.
Oh, that's your Paladin level. Yeah.
Warlock's is a D8. It's not too bad.
Wow.
All right, so 6 plus 3 is 9 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Puts me at 87.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, was I supposed to add anything to my 6?
Oh yeah, your Constitution modifier.
Oh, wait, 58 then. Hey.
Yeah. Even better.
All right. Assuming that con bonus gave me a mess ton of hit points now, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully that makes me a little hardier.
87, pretty good. All right, Corinne. What are you doing at level 9?
So, Corinne just learned a new level 5 spell, Creation. So, basically, I can create a non-living object that lasts. The time it lasts depends on what it is. So, I can make like vegetable matter or stone, precious metals, stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Material.
And let's see. There we go.
Fascinating. You know, I never see any. I love this. I never see anyone use high level spells to do utility stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's interesting.
Yeah. I have like, I figure I didn't really need any more attack spells right now.
Yeah.
So I wanted something else kind of interesting. So hopefully it'll come in handy.
Yeah.
That means you could make like a key.
I had that same question. Yeah. Like all it says is that you have to have seen like the material and the shape that or the thing that you're creating, but it doesn't mean you can't. I don't think it means I have to have the exact shape. I don't know. I had the same thought about a key.
I would say, let's see. It says you have to have seen it. Is that what it says?
Well, so it says that you have to have seen I think the material and the shape of the object that you're creating.
Okay.
So to me, that meant okay, it says precious metals, right? Because the other thing I figure I can do is I could create a diamond. I've seen a diamond before, presumably.
Right.
But the thing I can create could be up to 5 feet. So I could create like
Jeez.
huge diamond, you know, which because I've seen that, even though I haven't actually seen a diamond that big, I've seen that material and that shape.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah. The size
know,
isn't related to the.
but that's just changing the size.
Yeah. I would say that too.
But the key thing, I'm not sure. I guess that'll be up to you because I've never seen the exact key that I would be trying to create.
I would say that if you were trying to create a key, you would have to have seen the key.
That key.
Key.
If I've seen that key, it probably means we would have that key. So.
Unless you're like,
Anyway.
you could do like some sneaky thing where you're invisible and you go look at a key and then you create a copy of it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Or make a 5-carat diamond, sell it, get money, and run.
Well, that was the first thing I thought about when I saw this spell was I can create some huge ass diamonds and get money.
This is the man that thought about cooking up Bryce's summoned animals.
Exactly. How can we? Or you could, this is a high level spell slot, but you could create ammo for the blasting hammer if you wanted to.
Oh wow, really?
Because that just requires a gem that's worth 100 gold.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Work together.
Alfred's like this is something he's never heard before. What?
It's like, I'm gonna rob all of you and leave you for dead. I mean, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, 4 is your average, so you may take it.
Yeah.
Plus your con, plus your dragon, +1.
Plus my con is 1 and dragon is 1, so a total of 6.
6.
Right. Okay.
All right. Very good, Mr. Tim. What you doing?
Tim gets a ability improvement, and after having his legs broken a couple times, he discovered he's actually pretty tough.
He's always gonna be his dad's now.
Maximum increase by amount equal to twice your level. Okay.
You did the same thing as me. You're like, I need more hit
Yeah.
points.
I feel like I have to catch up with our ranger.
Oh yeah.
Am I echoing?
Yes.
Yep. Started.
What the hell?
You know what?
Oh.
There you go. Is it some weird? I don't think you're doing it anymore.
Okay.
Or
I think I am.
I think you are actually, but it sounds different now.
It's a little echoey.
Nice.
It literally sounds like there's a different microphone somewhere else in the room. Is what it sounds like.
I don't know what it is.
It comes and goes.
Okay, yeah, it comes.
Okay.
Okay, so your hit point max increases by amount equal to twice your level. Okay, so
Wow.
18.
Yeah.
And then every after it's 2. All right.
Yeah, so basically I get a +4 every level.
Nice.
Well, that's super annoying. Sorry.
Can you hear it?
Is my mic picking up your voice? Is that?
Kind of seems like it.
Maybe it.
Do you want to just close the door?
Okay. Yeah, your mic seems to be picking up a lot of background noise. All right. Is that better?
Yeah. Okay, so it was a different mic.
All right. Yeah. I think during the break we might need to take a look at your mic and what's picking up.
So sensitive.
And I think that's all I get for this level.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So let's roll your hit die.
Ooh, all the hit points.
Damn.
I thought I was gonna be impressed with my little hit points.
Yeah.
I think I'll finally overtake you in hit points.
I would hope so. Jesus.
What does that bring you to?
That's 18, 28 plus 2. I get another 30 hit points.
Oh my god.
Lord.
Right?
I mean, that was the whole feat, like retroactively catching up. But yeah, that's a lot of hit points.
Yeah, so now I have 92 hit points.
92. All right.
What?
Wow.
I could die twice and Tim will still be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are the new leader, I think, unless Alfred rolls insanely well.
I'm sure you will.
Then though, I can't beat that.
Okay, Halfred.
I also take top.
I took a different feat that also gives me HP bonuses.
Yeah.
There
One
are
you've never
3
heard
of
of
them.
before.
Yeah.
It's tougher.
It's in the addendum.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's called FU Tim.
Level 9. Proficiency bonus goes up
Except this
just like
one.
everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
All I get this time is an extra spell of 3rd level or less. So
Okay.
of course I'm going to take a 3rd level spell. I believe I will take tough decision, but conjure animals.
You guys are gonna fucking fill up. Oh my god.
Yep.
So one of you is making animated objects. One of you is making just objects, and another one is making animals. Okay.
Me and Tim just look at each other and shit.
We're
I hit
strong.
Tim already has his leeches. Actually, fuck you, Tim. You've got leeches.
Oh. You have your psychicnesses, whatever.
I have
I don't-
nothing.
You do
I don't
summon
know.
a psychic.
For a moment,
I
forgot
need
who my
psychic
character was.
friends.
But so Halfred has been watching Brysis use the bag of whatever, and since he's figured out,
I know that bag's tricks.
He's hadn't quite perfected it yet. Hence why he can only do challenge rating of 2 or lower.
Ah, okay. That's why you were asking. Yes.
But you heard all those badass beasts you can pull out.
You pull an
And I
Allosaurus.
really want you to summon a hunter shark just like in the middle of a regular room.
I could,
Good luck.
Fucking thrashing around.
or I could summon a blink dog.
A bunch of a blink dog. Yeah.
Is a blink dog actually a beast?
That's what it says in this PDF,
Wow.
Is it? All right.
and it's a 1/4 it's a 1/4 challenge rating, so I can summon 8 blink dogs.
I summon
It's a pack of teleporting
a
dogs.
pack of mangy teleporting dogs. I don't know. It's just funnier to me to imagine a filthy pack of dogs.
Blink dogs.
I think because the image of blink dogs, the picture is a hairless dog, I believe. I'd have to look it up, but I think if you look at the picture for them.
If not, the token for this has to be a hairless dog now.
Yeah.
It blinked and left its hair
Find
somewhere
the
else.
most hideous looking dog picture.
These creatures have hit points, and they go away when it gets to 0. They are friendly to you and your companion. They have an initiative as a group. They obey any verbal commands that I issue that does not require action. If I don't issue a command, they just defend themselves from hostile creatures.
Wow.
The DM has the creature statistics. Thanks, DM.
Well, hold on. So, I don't know if I have blink dogs, for example. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to build stuff for you, Raymond. I think if you have specifics that you want to use regularly.
He expects it on his desk by Monday.
Let me see if I see blink dogs set somewhere else on here.
I
do not have blink dogs right now. I will have to make a blink dog.
I will reveal that my main goal is to use them as reconnaissance. So
Okay.
we don't need statistics, but I will let you know what I use as an attacker if I pick one.
Okay.
Do they all? When
I
you
have
summon
a
one of those
mastiff.
4 things. Do they all have to be the same, or could you summon like 4 rats, 2 pigeons, and a bird and a parakeet, and just be like
True.
fucking a traveling circus show?
I could have a zoo of my own.
Yeah. I don't see any reason why I couldn't do that.
I typed exactly as the book says and it doesn't specify. So
No, I don't think. Yeah. It's just beasts.
I could then throw out one of the little animals from my bag and let them eat your traveling circus.
It's a whole show.
All right, now we're just gonna play Pokemon from here on. Just throwing out animals.
I choose you, Blink Dog Boar, Bullywog, Constrictor Snake, Draft Force, Dragon, Drone.
They all just immediately start fighting. Just fighting
Oh, no,
each
they've all
other.
melded into one. It's some kind of the fly situation.
Wait till I get higher level slots. At 5th level slot, I can do twice as many.
Oh my god.
Just fill the battlefield with my blink dogs.
Although that won't happen until level 17, so.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, good luck with that.
At that
Anyway.
point, we're all basically gods.
Yep. Okay. 4. Would you take your 6 instead?
So 6 plus my con.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's plus 8. So that brings me to.
Your con is a +4?
No, 6 is the average. So it's +2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, +2, yeah.
Would have been funny if you'd let him believe his con was a +4.
Yeah, I would have believed it too. Son of a bitch.
That halfling is swole. We've already established he has massive thighs. 82. Does that tie with you, Chasm? Is that what you got? What'd you get to?
That's measured out, boys.
87. All right. Tim is the new winner.
I have finally
Yeah.
fulfilled my role as the wall.
You had to take a 30 fucking hit point turn.
Yep.
Level. It's insane.
Oh, the men are all there whipping it out.
Ooh, I still have 10. Whoops.
That. Very nice. Okay. That is everybody. The night passes comfortably in the soft beds of the Grey Castle estate, and then the morning, Mary asks you what your plans are. What are your next steps?
Well, DM, I think we'd like to. So they have no leads on where the Weevil went?
She says, I don't, but I can tell you that Crowan has been looking into this nonstop, and he's the one with the spy network. So if anyone has information on the Weevil's whereabouts, it would be Crowan.
The dude that lives hundreds of miles away.
She says, yes, but you have access to their teleportation network, correct?
Who told you? Yes, we do. In fact, we're going to be using that. There's nothing left in the city.
All right. Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask Tim, like, do you want to just go find out the truth about you?
Sure, I got nothing else better to do.
We can teleport down to Waterdeep, and which I don't think we've ever actually been to, as in this campaign.
You may not have. Yeah.
We got picked up by Zephyros and then went the hell out of their whole region.
In fact, I don't have a map for it, so you've certainly never been there. Yes, I do. I just archived it a long time ago. All right. You go to the Harper Safe House, and this is the rundown building where the teleportation circle is in the attic of this old abandoned house. The attendant asks you where you'd like to go, and when you tell him Waterdeep, he kind of gets a scowl and he says, okay, but says Crowan really wants to see you. So whenever you can make it there.
We got one more thing to take care of. This is important. Shouldn't be long.
It's okay. I'll inform Master Valharo. And he puts you in the teleportation
Does he really
circle.
need to be informed of our ever comings and goings?
He says, well, reports are made daily about the use of the teleportation circles, so anyone who uses these goes across his desk.
I see.
How much would it cost to put down some fake names?
Some fake names. He says, well, there's only a certain number of people who are allowed to use these circles.
How
That's
much would
fine.
it cost for you to use those names?
It's fine.
Bryce, this is totally just gonna step into the teleportation circle. Like, I've got a weevil to hunt. Let's go.
Alright, he teleports you. You feel the flash of light. And you are... Let me see. Waterdeep. I actually need to look up Waterdeep, too. You guys have actually technically been here once. It's where you all started this adventure before you actually...
right.
Yeah. Well, some of you haven't. Tim's never been there because you went straight from Waterdeep to Nightstone. Halford, I think... Yeah, you met... The rest of you met in Waterdeep.
Aren't I from Waterdeep?
You're from Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, that's right.
Yeah.
I was hiding in Waterdeep.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Waterdeep, the city of splendors, is a bustling, walled city on the Sword Coast. Some merchants have dubbed Waterdeep the best supply center in the world, with the largest collection of superb craft workers, experts, useful contacts, and potential hirelings to be found anywhere. Others caution that the city houses a veritable army of potential enemies for those who aren't careful, and everyone agrees that its wide, crowded streets are full of spies. The Waterdeep Circle is located inside a raised crypt in Waterdeep's walled cemetery district. So you all pop in and you're immediately just surrounded by stone walls. And the attendant greets you to Waterdeep. Where is the cemetery district on here? I don't know.
Is it the City of the Dead?
Yeah, that's it. That seems logical.
I like to grab the guy by the scruff of his shirt and be like, "Did you let the weevil come through here?"
Says the weevil. No, I haven't. I haven't seen hide nor hair of that dastardly, no good doer.
Shove him harshly out of the way. And
Better rough him up just to be sure.
Halford, take his clothes.
This isn't who we are. Give him some graham crackers and send him on his way. What's the best way to get to it? Can we take horses or something? Is there a ox cart we can ride in the back of, as befitting our station?
I will take you to the... So, you are in Waterdeep. Approximately 30 miles. So it's it was a 2-day walk by foot to get to Nightstone. You could commission horses or buy horses if you wanted to. Let me open up your shops here.
I don't think I want to buy them because we're just going to teleport out of here.
So I know that we're supposed to go see that guy to get information on the weevil, but I'd still like to skulk in the darkness and the shadows of some of the streets and see if I can't find out information that way too.
Okay. Let's say while the rest are procuring the travel arrangements, you spend a little bit of time doing some skulking and
Skullduggery.
The skullduggery, yes. Roll an investigation check. Investigation check or a perception check, either one, your choice.
I'll go with investigation because that's a +3. My perception's a +1.
Okay,
That's not
you
too bad.
you look around people that you think might have some information, you know, in the alleys and the darker sections of Waterdeep, and you try to listen in on conversations and whatnot. And you do.
I still have my hood, so they can't really tell who I am.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, you just look like a hooded figure. Totally non-threatening. A hooded figure whose face is unobservable. Don't mind me.
I'm gonna get the cops called on you so bad.
You don't hear about anyone having seen the weevil in person or even in Waterdeep, but you do hear a couple stories from people about the Weevil being on the loose again. And what you hear is that the Weevil is recruiting, that he's looking for men, that he's building up a force of his own, and the purpose of that recruiting is some sort of revenge that he's planning. And everyone is fairly certain that the revenge must be against whoever took down him and his operation that was in Xantharl's Keep and in Neverwinter.
I'm gonna spread the word between these people as I'm listening in on these conversations about how joining the Weevil obviously must be a death sentence because he couldn't take care of his men the first time and got himself captured. Trying to like undermine his ability.
Yeah. Okay. Roll persuasion check.
Ooh, that's an even better one.
All right. You in a couple of these conversations, you chime in with these.
Plant that seed.
Yeah, plant that seed. And you see a lot of people sort of not in agreement with you. It seemed like they were already maybe leaning that way, and they're like, "Yeah, I mean, the Weevil, he used to be powerful, but now, I mean, he's been beaten down once. He's running now, running like a rabbit. He's no threat to anybody. It wouldn't take his money even if he offered it to me." You hear a couple conversations like that.
Excellent. I will skulk back into the shadows to join the rest of the people.
Okay. Meanwhile, the rest of you have found that there is a coach cab that can take you between from here to Nightstone for 3 copper pieces per mile. And it's a 40-mile journey. So what is that?
Cue to a montage. I was laughing.
120 copper pieces.
Throwing coppers into the air.
Sorry, can you break 100?
So yeah, it's 120. Or yeah, 120.
For 5 extra copper, can I have a cushion for my chair?
Sure.
For an extra gold, you can go in the backwoods and just drop us off at the door. I really, really hate walking.
Tim has a tendency to break his legs when we walk somewhere.
Not anymore.
I'm tough now.
I'll die before my legs are broken now.
I've reinforced my legs. I have 4 legs.
I got the dream of having a spider leg.
He's just got tight treads.
Yeah,
I'm
level 3 is tight
upgraded.
treads on the bottom. Cyborg justice.
I'm an unstoppable killing machine.
Complete lack of empathy. How much was it again?
120 copper.
Are we splitting that?
Per person.
Oh, jeez.
Alfred's out. I'm not going, guys. 120 copper.
Was it like 12 cents or something?
In this world, I mean, a copper is probably more like $1. Like, some things are just very expensive.
So I've got like...
Well, maybe a silver is like $1. So this
Those are $half.
Shit, I'll just go retire somewhere. I've got $800.
I don't know. The logic of the...
I mean, yeah, the system is really weird because adventurers just get a shit ton of gold.
Yeah.
But, you know, we risk our lives. So.
I mean, the normal man lives off of, 5 copper a day and he eats bread and...
But, like, so we should roll into town and just fucking the just king of opulence.
Yeah.
Best of everything.
Yep.
Ooh, a player's club card. This way, sir.
Where is your token?
Return to Nightstone.
Yeah. Okay, so you pay them their 120 copper apiece. and you get in this coach cab. It's not terribly comfortable. Bryce has paid for an extra cushion. She's a little more comfortable.
And it's the saddest cushion.
It's just a bunch of rags wrapped together.
My butt has cushion, while y'all's do not.
Yeah, and you guys spend the day heading south, and you make it to the fork in the road, which is generally the marker of the first day of travel. You set up camp. And by the way, Tim, if you ever do want to change your armor, just let me know, because I mean, you guys are long resting a lot at this point. So if you ever want to reroll, just let me know whenever. I forget what it is. If you look at the actual.
Yeah, I'm good right
now. Okay. Second day, you all spend. It takes another half day to get it into Nightstone. I don't still have that map up, but I assume you guys aren't spending much time in Nightstone.
No.
Not one of its many wards.
Yeah.
I don't need to see those people again.
You do see, as you're traveling through, word gets out, and Morak Urgere comes out to meet you.
What?
He was the dwarf that ran the town.
Hey Google, who is Morak?
I didn't actually show you his character sheet.
He was the guy
the
in the cave.
Yes, he was the dwarf that you rescued from the cave, and he ran Nightstone. And now he's sort of the unofficial mayor of. He's the unofficial mayor of Nightstone now. The place is pretty much rebuilt from when you were there, when it was destroyed and the cloud giants had dropped boulders all over the place. You can only see the faintest remnants of that damage now. In like the stonework of the sidewalks, you can see where patch jobs have been done to cover the damage. Morak greets you and asks you what you're doing back in Nightstone.
We've got some
Unfinished business. No further questions.
Is the Waterdeep forest safe these days, Morak?
He says, Waterdeep Forest? Gods no, it was never safe. People don't really go in there very often.
That was my home.
Like, oh well, you know, you look like a tough one. You were probably just fine.
I am a tough boy.
Somebody noticed you took the tough feet.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He says. Yeah, it can be pretty dangerous. There's monsters of all types in there.
Like what?
He says. Well, you know, your general beasties, your wolves, that sort of thing. He says.
Boys are in there.
It's sabotage.
Shit's getting intergalactic down here. And that exhausts all my Beastie Boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of those animals have a license to kill.
There you go.
Thank you.
They have a right.
They have the right to party.
To fight.
Oh yeah, that's.
We know more. He says, I understand there's a tribe of them frogmen come through there regularly. They generally don't trouble nobody, but they ain't friendly either.
Frogmen. They never bothered us.
I'm gonna glance sidelong attendant. All right.
They need to stay away from us.
We hopefully won't cause much trouble. In and out. That's our motto.
We'll crush them under our boots.
Right.
We're gonna destroy.
For us to the ground.
Man, I can show you guys so much. I can show you the one part of the swamp that has the small leeches in it. The other swamp that has the red leeches.
The red leeches.
This other one, well, that's where the frogmen live. You don't want to go there.
As the camera slowly pans up into the sky.
You got your spotted leeches. You got your striped leeches.
Yeah. Rattlesnake leeches.
You fry them up real good. Make some good leech gumbo.
All right. He says, "Well, we got plenty of supplies here. If you need any basic supplies. Otherwise, good luck to you all."
RDM doesn't really care about that kind of thing.
Can I ask you, who might be available to buy the world's biggest diamond?
Why?
Who would you?
You just left like one of the biggest cities on the coast.
To go sell it like bumfuck nowhere. Literally the biggest city in the Sword Coast. With a whole jewel district.
You're right into this.
These guys don't
This
even
village.
sell diamonds.
Can we chop it up and eat it?
Buy the whole town.
Yes, you can. It'll go down rocky.
He just gives you the blankest stare you've ever seen.
No? Okay, well, I'll hold on to this 5-foot diamond.
How are we all fixed for giant diamonds in these parts?
You have a big industrial.
I also have an assortment of rare books that I've been lugging around for.
Why did we not go shopping at the last city?
Once again, half of the Nightstone residents can't read.
We just went from Austin to Beaumont, and then I'm using Texas references.
Yeah.
Watching Texas.
Apologies to all of our Beaumontites.
What did he say about Beaumont?
It's a lovely city filled with wonderful people. The best people.
They understand.
Yeah.
One of my best friends is a Beaumonter.
You don't know anyone from
Go
Beaumont.
Shut up.
Not only are these books giant size, they're also written in giant. So you plop one of them down on a table in front of this dwarf, plop it open, and he's just like, "What the fuck is this? I don't know."
But man, if he knew, it would have blown all of our minds.
Oh, these are the ancient giant texts. I've been looking for these.
Why are you living here?
I'm just gonna quietly slide that back into my bag
Yeah.
and just.
I was once a
Move
giant
on.
historian. Now I'm a retired cop living in Nightstone.
Okay.
All right, everyone remember, next time we're in a big-ass city, to point Corinne towards the market district and make us all the money.
Yeah. All right.
That spell is a group effort at this point.
That's right. She needs to sell you some things.
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
All
Oh.
right.
Traveling snake oil salesman.
Just
Now, that is a good way
more and more people as we get
to leave a
along.
bad reputation in your wake.
Yeah.
Sell a bunch of
Oh, you
giant
always
diamonds.
True.
How long does
That disappears.
10 minutes? Is that
I
what it
think
was?
it might be 10 minutes for like precious metals.
Well,
Yeah, I'll have
people need
to.
to read their contracts. Like, that's in the contract.
Fine print may disappear.
Yeah.
Cannot guarantee permanence.
That's right.
Like, I agree to.
Yep.
Soon. 10 minutes to a gym.
10 minutes for a gym? Yeah, that's a quick sale.
That's a rough sale.
Yeah.
Let's get into that shop.
Mithril is 1 minute.
Let's keep the car running, sale. It's getting run out of town.
Listen, I really want to sell you this diamond, but I got places to be.
Tim, throw some leeches. Let's go.
All right. Without he offers you some hardtack and some rope.
No diamonds.
No diamonds.
Here's a bag of nails.
Yeah. No thanks. You hold on to that.
Okay.
But you just conjured up from nothing. You could sell it for anything.
We could get some hardtack.
I'll take all your hardtack.
At least it's for you.
Okay, you guys set out from Nightstone. And there is a river. And Tim, you've been racking your brain during this whole journey.
There's not much there.
Just leeches going.
It just spins as he's trying to think.
Does he have ears?
It's a massive leech brain just together in there.
You've been trying to think about where exactly in our deep forest your cabin was. Like exact location once you're in it. And you don't really remember all that well. You remember because when you left your home, it was right after your god had died, and you remember just sort of in despondent, sort of wandering out of the forest, but you weren't exactly taking, directions at that point.
Guys, I can't really remember.
Tim has CRS, everybody.
What is that?
Can't remember shit.
Oh, yep. What you do remember is that it was very near the river. And there is a very...
Beaches, swamps, that makes sense.
There is a prominent river that runs through the middle of our deep forest.
Probably just follow the river then.
Yeah. So, and the river also goes past Nightstone. So you could easily, so you suspect you could easily follow that river into our deep forest.
How big is this river?
How big? Yes, that's my question.
When you get to the start of it, on the from the road from Nightstone, it's decent. It's probably about 10 feet wide. By the time you're in the middle of the forest, it's
like a canal.
It's more like a stream. It's not very wide at all. It's maybe 6 feet across, maybe 4 or 5 feet deep. It's not terribly impressive.
So you can just
Can I
jump in and
animate a
walk.
tree to carry me across?
In fact, as you follow that river in, I will show you how wide it is. It's that wide, not very. As you get, you think you're in the middle of the forest now. And Tim, this looks vaguely familiar to you. Like you're sure that your cabin is somewhere near the river.
I'm sure we'll find this cabin by the end of the session, guys.
What the session?
What are you talking about? What?
What?
The forest is very thick around you.
Any of this looking familiar?
It does
Vaguely.
it does obscure your vision a little bit, as you can see. Okay. There we go.
Ah, yes. The sounds of my youth.
This is terrifying.
When Tim was still carefree, believed all the gods in the world.
Yep. I was but a fancy lad. Fancy and free. Fancy dreams.
Hold up for a second while your halfling does his primeval awareness. What are you looking for, Alfred? What is it?
Giants and monstrosities.
Giants and monstrosities. Okay. Here, give me just a second. Okay. You detect 4 monstrosities.
Whoa.
Very nearby too. You detect 3 of them, approximately 200 feet to your southwest. And then you detect another one approximately 200 feet straight to your west.
Let's go east.
Not to be racist, but we're not alone here.
How is that racist? I don't get it.
Suddenly I feel it's racist.
Yeah, that lead in sort of.
The preface, but
I've never used this phrase before.
There are monsters. Whatever, I repeat what the DM just said.
Exact coordinates. Longitude, latitude. So we don't know what kind of monstrosity.
No, and that was a mistake I was making. I don't think his
Look,
primeval
I'm not
awareness
perfect, okay?
it doesn't give him types.
Damn it, Alfred.
What does it give you anything else besides number and distance?
I clicked it.
Let's read.
You can sense whether any of your favorite enemies are present within 5 miles of you. This reveals which of your favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and the creature's general distance and direction from you.
A distance in miles. All right. Well, I was a little bit more specific than that. It's far less than 1 mile.
Okay.
Halfred, you're wrong. There are no monstrosities in this forest. Let's go, gang.
Damn, you're certain it's down that way?
Yes.
As certain as I am vague. Let's roll.
That's not. I don't. Wait.
Wait, why are we going
We're
towards them?
following Tim.
I don't. Well, we're still following the river, I guess.
You are still
We're
following.
following
the river.
Tim.
True. If we poison the river, we'll kill him.
Slay waste to this land.
That is a logical solution. Let's do it.
If we burn the forest down.
Who's them?
Yeah. You do come across what appears to be crossing across this river slightly, and you see a path that goes north and south, and then the river continues.
Monsters in both directions.
I don't know anything about a crossing. I just know the cabin is near the river.
Yeah, you're not quite entirely positive yet, Tim. Tim, when you step around that tree, though, you see something that does catch your eye and brings back a flood of memories.
Oh.
You see a small, like, tide pool, sort of gross, muddy area to your northwest. And you remember that this was your prime spot for leech hunting or gathering.
Tim gets super excited and runs over there. Look, guys, look.
Yep, you just see in this muck here, you just
Reaches down with his hand, fishes around for like 3 seconds, and just pulls up a handful of leeches.
Lord.
Yeah, and
I guess we should just let him play for a moment.
Yeah.
He's gonna replenish his lost stock.
he just shoves it in his chest. In here, leeches. Tim, when you get to the leeches, and as you're happily mucking about in the muck, you
Don't
both
think it would be grim work.
you it brings back enough memories for you to know that your cabin is somewhere to the southeast of here. Like, you remember walking back and forth from your cabin in this leech pond routinely.
Guys, it's across the river.
As you're playing with those leeches, you also hear a sound to the north that you can't quite yet place, but it sounds like a bunch of, not voices, but a bunch of things or something to the north of you, but you can't quite place it. It just
Can I drop
it just
one
sounds
of my
almost.
bag of tricks?
You sure can.
A little better if I had something I could sit on.
Number 12. Have you guys rolled a 12 yet?
Saber-tooth.
That's what I thought it was. Yep. That is the best trick.
Yep.
Where are you, Saber-tooth Tiger? There you are. Which, fun fact, if you guys don't remember the Saber-tooth Tiger, he's not from the regular monster pool. He is from your one-shot. Saber-tooth Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
52 is his points. All right, yeah, you throw that ball of fur out, and it turns a bright orange as it expands and grows huge fangs and becomes a saber-tooth tiger at your command.
I totally scratch it behind its ears and make kissy faces with it.
It purrs.
So you said something was coming down from the north, or we just heard sounds from there?
You just heard sounds to the north. It almost sounds like a clicking sound. Maybe you just hear little almost clacks coming from the north.
All right. Well, we don't need to go up there. Let's just go south. Try to stay out of various things' territory, I guess. Where does the river cross at?
You can see that it goes across right here. I didn't mean to drag all your things. You can pretty easily. The river is not. It's maybe 3 feet deep here, so you wade in about to the waist, but it doesn't stop you at all.
Try to roll my trousers up.
3 feet tall.
Yeah, we gotta kind
Alfred, you have to.
whatever. You can fly.
Yeah.
You're fine. Ah, spider webs.
Yes. So as you travel south, Kazan, you glance to the west there. I think you're muted, Reese.
Reese, I think you're muted.
Yeah. You got the red.
I was making gross nose noises.
No one asked why you were muted.
Maybe they're wondering in their head. I don't know. Now they know.
Now we
I'm glad you told me.
yeah, you
Said
see.
you should pluck the spider webs like a guitar or something.
Yeah.
Hey,
Corinne, go for it.
Go in there.
Where is Spiderwebs?
was your house wasn't in there, right?
You're having trouble remembering, Tim. You remember coming
that
across
way.
the river right at that point, but the memory of where you're where the turns are down here, that's becoming tougher for you to remember.
I can't remember if I had to turn left or right the spider webs.
I'm gonna send my mage hand in there just to go in there and like bat away the spider webs.
No.
That's a terrible idea. Why?
Do it.
We don't need to touch the spider webs.
Touch them.
Okay.
Why?
Just to like just to light like
This forest needs to be clean.
dusting.
not. No, that's no.
Okay.
It's done. Too late.
Corinne, you start strumming the spider webs with your mage hand, pushing them out of the way over there. And you see.
And readies his glaive.
All right, nobody move. Movement's over now.
Yeah.
The spider. You see the spider web sort of echo in farther down the path into more spider webs. You can almost hear like a twanging sound. And
it comes back as the most beautiful music.
Yeah. Worth it.
And a band of spiders comes. It's like, oh, finally something to play for.
and
They come to hear the music.
Kazan, Tim, and Corinne, will you all please
explode into a ball of spiders?
Will you all please roll a perception check for me, please?
Perception.
On it. Got my eyes glued on the webs.
Ooh, I do not.
Oh,
You're too
20
busy plucking the
good.
Did you roll, Tim? Or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I was trying to see if okay, I get advantage on perception checks, so I couldn't remember. Give me another second. Now that my character sheet fills the entire screen on my second monitor, it's everything's a little different. Wow. That's the best I can roll, apparently.
Wow, okay. All right. Corinne, you're too busy staring at these spider webs that you're strumming to
Tim
pay.
and I both look at each other at the same time and then look at whatever else coming.
Tim and Kazan, though, you both hear, before Corinne is able to even register this, a sound directly above you. And you both glance up to see the treetops right above your head moving, and there are shapes in the trees above you. And you both glance up in time to see three figures leap from the trees at you.
Tree elves?
And I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative.
Yes.
There will be a surprise round that Tim and Kazan may take part in. Everyone else will not.
Wait, I get advantage. Hold up. Roll one more time.
Are they leaping down at
Okay.
us?
They are
50-50.
leaping down at you, yes.
Have they hit the...
Can we tell what these are?
I have a handout.
Spider people.
Spider dwarves.
I will let you guys roll Arcana or History to know if you know anything else about them, but I will give you their names because it's on the handout. They are ettercaps. They are weird,
That does not look like a spider at all.
bulbous creatures with vaguely they have vaguely spider-like faces, but they're more weird looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a spider and a human had a baby.
I was gonna say like a human and a slug.
Like a gorilla. It looks like a gorilla and a spider.
Would you
Hey, you look like a gorilla and a spider.
Dr. Burke.
Come at me.
who rolled really high?
I did.
So
Okay.
high.
Yeah, 22. Yeah, okay. Ettercaps are humanoid spiders that tend to feed and watch over other spiders the way a shepherd oversees a flock of sheep. They lair deep in remote forests.
Check.
Yeah. You know that they tend to attempt to surprise people.
Check.
Yeah. And they can often be found serving other or larger spiders.
Check.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
There's always a bigger spider. They're just like fish in that way.
All right, the ettercaps.
I was asking if they're actually hitting the ground next to us, then my reaction thing goes off.
Sure. Like, as part of the
If he gets within
Their leap will happen as part of the surprise round. So you'll get it during this turn.
Well, okay. So on my turn, can I attack them?
Yes, you and Tim both
Where
are
are
not surprised.
Okay.
You and Tim are part of this round here.
So they are now within melee range of us.
Not yet. They're coming.
All right. These are pertinent questions.
Arrange this. Yeah, right now they're probably about 20 feet in the air, in the treetops, and they are currently getting ready to leap down at you. All right, Halfred, you are surprised. You don't know what's going on right now. The Ettercaps themselves leap down. At this point, Chasm, this one next to the north of you, comes down first, and he does come within range as he's leaping down from the trees.
Hey, that's crit for my first
Wow,
roll.
all right.
And I get to reroll the damage on that. And does the pike thing go off?
The other Ettercap.
Yes!
Wow.
Max damage on both.
Okay,
Oh,
so it's
wait, I
another
guess
9. Wow.
Yeah.
The other Ettercap,
Another-
the other Ettercap is not yet in range. He's still up in the trees.
Okay.
Okay. That Ettercap is going to
As he's coming down, I literally just like shunk it up.
and do max damage. Yep.
Yeah.
And it looks like you pretty well.
Impales himself partially.
Yeah, you kind of gut him as he's coming down. And he's going to put his weird clawed hands together and pull them apart, and you see webbing between his hands. Why is that not? That was supposed to roll a attack roll. See, this is why you build your own creatures. Don't let the
Nice.
thing do it for you. You know what? That's actually not. Yeah, it's not an attack. It's just an ability. No, it's an
It's
attack.
just
Hold on a second. Let me put this together and I'll re-roll it. Okay. He is going to attempt to garrote you. And the 13 is not going to hit.
Hell no.
What? Oh, I heard grope.
I kind of did too.
Hello.
Damn it, Corinne, this is a nest of pervert spiders.
I have to grope you.
Nobody go. That's why you don't cross the river in the forest. Everybody knows that.
Do they like tiptoe and do their fingers like this as they say it?
You need a pre-massage. No, get away.
You feel
You see guys, Catherine.
Murder the groping spiders. The other Ettercap is also going to come down on you, Kazan, and attempt the same thing. Terribly.
If this were a podcast, the title of this episode would absolutely be "Murder the Groping Spiders."
Murder the groping spiders. And, Corinne, you are next. This one's not going to attempt his garrote. He is going to make 2 attacks on you, one with a bite and one with his claws. Alright, come on, character sheet. Literally, this is how it was put in there, apparently. A description. If if you want to do this attack, here's how it should be put in. Okay, let's try that again. Claws. Yeah.
Well, that'll hit.
Comes down and claws you, and then he goes in for a bite. Which I don't believe does it.
Nope. Nope.
All right. Corinne, you were surprised. Kazan, it's your turn.
I was gonna fear these guys, but they don't actually seem like they're that painful. How wounded is the one that I impaled on his way down?
Pretty damaged. You did a good chunk of damage to him, you think?
I will focus on that one. And that should have this go off if that hits. 16.
16 does hit.
Get to reroll that damage.
And Phantom glistens, and you see a spectral copy of it wanting to lash out.
I just rerolled the whole thing.
Okay.
So I can target the other one with this attack roll.
Yes, so you can hit them both.
And
You
it's
literally,
the same damage.
literally, as you stab out at the one at cap, from your hand, another like spectral version of the pike comes out.
I don't know. The way it's flavored is like my mirror image. It's literally like a copy of myself. That
Okay.
Shifts over
and does the
thing
same.
like,
Yeah.
the same mirror image move. It's like shoom, shoom.
Yeah.
All right, so
9 damage.
yeah,
Okay.
both of them, and then focusing still on the first one. And that's each attack. Does that split?
Yes.
Nice. Let's do 8 damage to both of them.
Wow. All right.
And then multi-attack. Let's do 12 damage to both of them.
Wow. All right. With that, you behead the first one.
Shoom, shoom.
The first one just
Magic weapon.
has been chittering at you as you've been just slashing it, and it gives out one last shitter as you take its head off.
Sorry, we basically invaded your home.
Played with your webs.
Tried to take your stuff.
Would you attack someone if they just like started messing with your lawn or something?
They stepped
Come
on.
out
I
with
I mean,
They stepped on the grass. Get the kitchen knives.
yeah. Some people would be absolutely brandishing their shotgun.
Yeah. Oh, Tim, you and Kazan
Yeah.
have the same role.
But the webs are like their homes, right? Or something? I don't know.
all right. If a bunch of teenagers came up and just started throwing eggs at your house,
Yeah, but these teenagers like loaded with like AK-47s and shit. Like, this is what we have when we're walking around.
The spiders aren't people either. They're spiders. They're not...
Man, you're gonna get a sternly worded letter from the Spider Association.
Spiders are people too.
I mean, at least the spider people are spider people.
even the ones that come up through my sink.
Tim, you and Kazan should have rolled a dice, but instead, yeah.
Alphabetical order.
Yeah. All right. Tim.
All right. I.
I'm echoing again.
Damn it! Super annoying. I don't know why it's doing it.
Double Tim.
And I don't think it's my fault this time.
Okay,
The door's nearly closed.
nearly. It's been nearly closed this entire time. I'm gonna try to force the mouth of this Ettercap open.
Oh no.
Oh, I got something dropping there.
Me too.
Why are we all such monsters now?
Are you
That's what
trying?
heroes become.
You're trying to physically like grapple its mouth and force it open?
Yeah, I want to grab its mandibles and just
King
rip them
Kong
apart a
and
little bit
T-Rex.
so I can put something in there.
Okay. That will be conflicting athletics checks.
Okay.
His alignment is chaotic as hell.
Ah, damn it.
The aircap's mandibles are firmly in place. There, you feel just muscles in those mandibles.
All right.
Mandibles are swole.
That's right. All right, back up to a real turn now. Halfred, your turn.
I'm gonna run and get a drink. I'll be right back.
Doesn't our saber-tooth tiger get initiative, or how's that?
He goes on Bryce's turn.
Oh, it goes with Bryce's. Okay.
Let's. Has this one right here taken damage?
The one in front of Kazan?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
You've watched.
When I've been phantom
Yeah,
stabbing.
you've been phantom. Yeah, exactly.
Has he acted yet?
Yes, they had a whole surprise round. They have definitely acted.
That's right. Okay, I'm gonna attack this one first.
Yeah, I'll get one in a second.
14 damage?
Yes.
Okay. Put an arrow right into that thing's head, and it staggers and almost goes over. Just barely standing up. 15, you put him down. Put another arrow right into the neck, the other arrow inside his head. And he again skitters a little bit, makes a little chittering noise, and then falls over dead. Dash, okay.
My turn.
All right, Corinne, you and I need to roll a d4 to see who goes first. The Intercaps go first. There's only one Intercap left. He's going to continue. He's going to actually turn back behind him and make some loud chittering noises at the trees right behind you all. Not behind you, but behind him. And then he's going to turn back to you, Corinne. And he's going to come at you again. First with his claws. And then with his bite. That bite hits. Right? Yes.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
That is...
That's a lot of damage.
It is. The second bit of the damage, you actually roll the Constitution saving throw on. So you take 9 damage initially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna use shield as
okay.
my reaction on that.
There you go. His big muscular mandibles come out and he comes at you. And they bounce off the shield. And now it is your turn, Corinne.
Okay, I'm gonna use my shocking grasp.
Okay.
That was a good roll.
Yeah. Shocking
Man,
grasp.
that's a lot for a cantrip.
That's a cantrip, yeah. All right. You lay into him with your electricity. You see it surge through his body. Okay. As you were surging at him, you hear his chittering even louder, Corinne. But at a certain point, you realize you aren't hearing the chittering just from him anymore. You're hearing a larger sound coming from the trees behind him. And then...
Oh.
From the trees... I played a lot faster than I thought I was going to. A huge spider, 15 feet, fully 15 feet tall, legs that are 10 feet of that height, comes stomping out of the trees, each of its legs spiking into the ground, impaling the earth beneath it. I'm gonna play it again.
Guys, we really shouldn't have messed with those spider webs.
Damn it.
No,
God.
I think we made the right decision.
Now this is the equivalent of like teenagers egging your house and you call the SWAT team.
Kill them. And
On the floor.
it advances towards you all.
And they show up in a tank. Oh my god. That is a big goddamn spider.
It is a big spider. So he is fully 15 feet tall, but the legs are 10 feet of that height. He is mostly legs, and there are these giant spiked impalement devices, it looks like. Impalement devices.
I wonder if I can force its mandibles open.
And actually, I should put it on the thing. The sword spider can make up to 4 leg attacks. Each must be against a different target. So its giant impaling legs just go stabbing into the ground around you.
They're ripe for crushing.
This is that thing from Kong Skull Island.
It is, actually. It very much is. And there are 3 of you in... Well, no, the saber-tooth tiger's in range. It is going to attack Kazan, Tim, Corinne, and the saber-tooth tiger. So let's go in order.
I'm gonna save my reaction and not stab it in case I need to use my Book of Shields.
Okay. Kazan.
Well, that's not gonna... that's too high for me to save it. Yeah, he's gonna stab my ass.
He stabs you, and you are grappled until the beginning of this spider's next turn. You are quite literally impaled by a leg. Tim!
What kind of damage is that?
That is piercing damage.
I have resistance to piercing.
Alright, you take 3 damage.
Okay.
Join me on the spider.
But you were also grappled for the time being.
Can I reach its mandibles from here?
No. Your arms only go out 5 feet.
Go extend out.
Corinne. That leg just... He's trying not to hit his hair cap, and it just kind of goes over your head.
Oh, see, they're family monsters.
And the saber-tooth tiger has an AC of 12, so it takes that.
Alright, so grapple just means you have a speed of 0. It doesn't
Yes.
actually do anything else.
Nothing else. It's just holding you in place is all it's doing. Okay, Kazan, your turn.
I don't fucking like this thing at all. Alright. Let's see what kind of AC this fucker's got. Oh dear.
Better than 9.
Let's whack it with the other side. About 24.
24 does hit. You do 8 damage to him.
That
And
should phantom impale.
yes, you can in fact hit them both with that.
Now here's a question. If I expend a spell slot to use a Divine Smite, would that also be copied? Because it would be in the same attack.
No, that would just be... I believe that was actually written in the description before I copied it over to Roll20. But any spells you cast in relation to the attack only happen on the physical one.
Okay. I'm going to expend a level 3 spell slot to use my Divine Smite on the spider. As I charge my energy and do 17 extra damage.
Okay. That is a good deal.
And then my multi-attack, I will do another... Damn it.
10 does not hit.
3 attacks, I got 1 hit, yeah. But it did 25 damage with that 1 hit.
Yeah, you did. All right,
So
Tim.
I'm just like, I assume just stabbing.
You're just stabbing it on the underside of its
Or
belly.
yeah, I guess I
just-
could be stabbing the actual leg. Does it take a full action to get de-grappled?
You become degrappled at the beginning of the spider's turn.
Oh.
He has to move his leg for you to get out.
Move its leg out of your body.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alright. The Ettercap looks like it needs to be healed.
Sure does.
That's pretty solid.
19 damage, yes. That Ettercap takes a leech to the face. And it's not looking that good anymore.
If I can't force your mouth open, you get the leech.
Eat
You're
the
just gonna pour
leech.
leeches into its mouth, aren't you?
What?
You're just gonna pour leeches into its mouth, aren't you?
That's right.
That's
I still have-
terrible. That's like
Alright.
like a body horror movie type thing to do. That is-
Yes.
My original plan was to use my potion of water breathing.
You can't breathe now.
Yeah, basically.
Oh wow.
I just wanted to see it struggle for a while until it died.
That's fucking awful.
Tim's losing his mind.
That's the equivalent of a teenager showing up at your lawn and then forcing your mouth open. Now we deserve the tank SWAT team.
Bryces,
Also
your
the army.
I believe your saber-toothed tiger does not have a reach. Yeah, your saber-toothed tiger cannot get into the reach.
Tiger's impaled right now,
He is impaled right now.
so he can absolutely attack something.
Oh, you mean like by that logic, like he should be able to attack a leg because there's a leg.
Yes. He's literally grappled. Then how can you not attack somebody? You're like you're
I
grappled.
guess that makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense.
Well, okay, I'll let you make an attack against him, but it will be at disadvantage, given that it is only one spindly leg that is in your range, and it is currently going through your body. Saber-tooth tiger. Who's not a player.
I can't hear Heather. Can you hear?
Yeah, I don't think I can. Are you saying something? No.
Sorry, I was muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no, I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it.
So he can. Does he do?
I went to bat for you.
His claw is more damage. He should probably do better as a claw.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. He lashes out at the leg that is impaled upon him, and he almost gets purchased, but he can't quite get to it, coming right down into him. So he just sort of hangs out. What do you do, Bryces?
What do I do? Do we think this guy is particularly dexterous?
Spider? Probably.
He did jump from the tree roof.
Hmm.
But you also have a pretty high DC, I think.
Yeah, I do. Screw it. We'll do it. I'll angle it so I don't hit anybody.
We're all fucking
What's-
grappled by this. Although he is pretty big, so.
And we'll do it at 3rd level. So. Kind of crappy damage.
The Scorcher. Okay.
Yeah, it's only 5 feet wide. That's pretty easy to aim.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Jesus,
He's a +7.
Okay. So,
He
yeah,
is.
pretty
Yeah, he's very dexterous. So was it half damage?
Yeah.
All right. He takes 8 fire damage as it burns past his spindly sword legs. You see it.
Oh, it's
scorch-
also going to hit the other dude too, by the way, because it's the 30 feet long.
Oh, you're angling it. All right. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
do that. You can absolutely do that. And the Ettercap.
He does not
also
make it.
makes.
He does not make
it's
it.
a 17.
17.
When the fuck did your DC get so high?
Our
When my
proficiency-
charisma became +5.
Jesus.
And we just got that proficiency.
And you just got a proficiency bonus.
Mine,
Yeah.
So everything went
Mhm.
up.
All right. So that scorching ray goes through the sword spider's legs. You see it scorch the legs a bit as it's going through, but it passes through those and nails the intercap right in the chest and punches a hole through its body. And it
Oops.
just makes a mewling noise and falls over dead. Halfred.
It's gonna aim for the giant spider.
10. 26 for 10. You hit him.
Oh, hold on.
Lucky.
You're so lucky. God damn.
Eh.
All right, that was 9 damage. Put another arrow into him.
That's it.
Okay, staying at range. Intercaps are dead. Corinne.
We'll use my chromatic orb with lightning,
Jesus.
whatever.
Wow. Almost
Whatever.
max damage.
That is-
Lightning. I mean, because I always forget my chromatic orb. Like, I'm supposed to. I still have to add my
You are supposed to, and I believe you
lightning. Mm-hmm.
are you already no. Your bonus is not added to the chromatic orb.
I don't think so because I can, change
You
what
can
it
change
is.
Okay,
So it's
it should be, what is it? Your charisma modifier? Is that
it's
what
my
it is?
charisma. I think so,
Which is what?
which is 4.
Okay, so that is 31 damage.
The charisma's
Yep.
in there. It says 3d8 plus 4. Charisma.
She's got 2 things. She has a staff of pain that adds her charisma modifier, and then her
Yeah.
attunement. So yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, the lightning damage.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 31 damage. That chromatic orb blasts
Oh, first level spell. That's crazy.
blasts into the underside of this creature.
How is it looking now?
Pretty bad. It, however, there's no way for it to. No, it can't get four different ones of you. So because it can't really get any other combination of 4 targets, its little beady spider eyes look around, and it chooses to attack the same 4 people again. So let's go in order. Kazan. Oh, let me check this one spider first. $12 ain't gonna do it.
Nope.
Tim.
Dodge out of the way.
25?
What? Yes.
I know. Yeah.
For 7.
Oh, right. Yeah, 7 damage. As your flex plate sort of turns into like wedges that lets the piercing damage sort of slide off a little bit.
Tim, what's your AC?
22.
Oh, okay. I can't.
Yeah.
It'd be hard.
Yeah.
Corinne.
Okay, I have so much health now. I dare the DM to kill me.
To break your leg again.
Shh, 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 shh. Not again.
And the saber-tooth tiger also takes it again. All right. It is just sort of wildly lashing out with its legs now, with all of its servants dead. Kazan, you're up. 16 will hit. 7 damage. It's beginning to slump now.
I'm gonna save my other spell slot. Reroll that damage, although odds are not great. It's 1d4. Nope, how about 6 damage?
That'll work.
Assume 11 does not hit.
11 does not.
Spike and stab and twirl at it.
Just imagine we see Kazan doing this like little ballet with the little pokey stick that he has now.
It's like ribbon dancing.
That's right. All right, but he is looking far not great. Tim, you're up.
Of course, its jaws open.
I can't reach him.
He's impaled.
Slide your impaled body up his leg.
I'm coming for you.
Oh man. Good.
It can't attack you with its leg if you're so far away.
Yeah, let's do a Sacred Flame on the spider. It's really good damage. Good lord.
The spider
Yeah.
just deftly dodges.
Dexterous.
Brysis.
Okay.
You said he's sagging by now?
He looks real bad. Like this. You guys have done significant damage to his underbelly, and he's sort of dripping
The
things.
tiger kill him first in case he can kill him.
Let's let the tiger do as a disadvantage strike.
Okay. Tiger will claw out, and the tiger
Nice.
will just take both its claws and just bring them together on the spider's torso and rip. And you see all the spider's guts just fall out onto the ground.
Am I allowed to animate the spider's guts?
I mean, it's an object. Corpses are an object.
Excellent.
And he falls over dead.
Alright, no more touching of the spider webs.
Yeah, you sort of broke apart some of the spider webs when you were doing your mage hand. But you don't see any more activity on the webs that you can see that were undisturbed.
Can I just set them on fire from now on?
I mean, you could do that.
Things don't have anything on them?
Yeah, you see no.
Pretty certain they weren't wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those other caps were not wearing clothes. They also had no to tell you.
Any fangs from the spider?
Halfred, roll a nature check.
Nature check.
No. You can't figure out what you might be able to do with any of these parts.
Is there anything interesting in their stomach contents?
Woodland animals. That's decomposing squirrels and foxes, and the sword spider has a deer in there. Spiders don't eat animals whole, though, do they? They, like, suck the blood
I'm
out.
thinking of snakes.
Yep. So, no, you don't find anything.
I mean, I don't... A 15-foot spider could probably eat whatever the fuck it wants.
You, for a moment, as the spiders are going down, though, Corinne, you think you might hear a voice coming from that direction, from beyond the spider webs. But it's gone before you can understand anything, and you're not even sure if you heard anything at all. Might have been the wind.
Oh, guess it was the
All right. Well,
we want to.
I heard a voice down this way, so I think that means we're supposed to go this way. Or maybe it was the wind. I don't know.
I mean, I assume we killed all the spiders at this point, so it might be safe to go in there.
There's one way to find out. There's a lot of spider webs.
Yeah, you guys triggered what would have been an ambush attack warily by just playing with the spider webs from outside.
Oh, good thing someone went in and mage handed those spider webs, right?
Again, no reason to go this way.
Corinne, you get to the end of the forest, or the end of this the end of the forest. This collection of webs, and you see
forest over.
And you see a large collection of webs clumped together around one tree. And as you get near, you hear a voice that once again seems so slight that you're not even sure you heard it. You hear it say, "Thank you."
Fireball ready. Fireball ready.
Completely ready.
Burn it down.
Is someone there? I'm yelling this.
She says,
There's someone there.
I'm fine. I am stating this.
Like a weakling.
It says, they were hurting the forest. You're not here to hurt the forest, are you?
I might accidentally burn it every now and then.
Kazan puts his lighter back in.
No, we're not. We're just passing through.
Wait, wouldn't spiders be native to the forest? So wouldn't we be hurting the forest by hurting the spiders?
Are the spiders native to hear voice in the tree?
The voice from the tree sort of comes out of the
from
leaves.
the tree. Sorry.
The leaves of the tree, and you can see what you've seen. You've identified one of these before, and it's obviously a dryad. Obviously, you've seen dryads before.
Obviously.
She says, spiders, yes, spiders are part of the forest. Those creatures, though, they rose that spider higher than a spider's place. They fed it things that spiders aren't meant to eat. They had it grow large. Too large.
It's a GMO spider.
We're just nature's hunters.
A modified
spider Monsanto.
Wait, who did?
You think she's referring to the other caps.
Oh.
She says, "Those are not of the forest. You saved my tree. They've wrapped it all in webs, see?" And the tree...
I can help get rid of that.
She motions to the webs behind her.
Have you seen a cabin around here? I need to find my ancient home.
She says, "I remember you. Yes.
Really?
You used to be here.
Yeah.
You and the other one. Yes.
Uh-huh.
You used to live just through there." And she points to the east. She says, "The other one hasn't moved in a long time. Not since you left."
Yeah, I left him dead.
Oh, that explains it.
Does the dryad not understand the concept?
That's a good question.
I mean, there's death in nature,
Yeah.
like all the time.
I'd really like to firebolt the spiderweb.
Would you?
Standing on
You think she would be
Yeah.
alright with that?
I'm gonna tell her to move. I'll get rid of the spiderweb,
She
and
says,
then do like a really quick countdown from like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just throw it.
okay. She steps back. Just she's not sure what you're doing, and you light the spider web up. All right, you send a firebolt right in the middle of that chunk, and it goes up like fucking newspaper. It just flash fries. And when it's over, only a few leaves of the trees surrounding are still on fire. And
This isn't experiencing a drought, right?
yeah. And you see the dryad come back out from the tree, and she starts patting leaves, putting little fires out around the trees in the area. She says, "Thank you. That would have gone away in the next rain, but thanks all the same." She says, "I don't have anything to offer you, but should you need my help, I'm always here. It's good to have you back in the forest."
Thanks. Hey, do you know how he died?
She says, "No, I'm sorry. I didn't see what happened. I only saw after you had gone."
Has anyone come by the cabin since I've been gone?
She says, "There have been a few travelers. A couple who looked like you. One was much bigger, though."
How big?
Is that racist?
It's sizest.
She sort of floats up the tree a little bit and puts her hand out, and it looks like maybe 8, 9 feet tall. She says, They looked a little like you. They had your face."
I'm getting more and more popular. All right.
"They came in here some time ago. I never saw them leave, though."
They still here?
"They could be. I see what passes through. Things that stay sometimes fall out of my sight."
Do you think I'm related to them? Are they my brothers or sisters? Let's go find out, guys.
"Good luck.
Thanks.
I hope they're your brothers."
Bye.
I'm stopping him now. Thanks, magical tree lady.
I guess we're going back this way.
Let us
Yeah,
know if
I'm
you
just
need
going
more
to take
small
off to the
people.
east.
Tim just goes running through the forest.
Forgot to leash him.
Tim, as you make it that far, suddenly the memory of exactly where you're at comes rushing back, and you know you recognize all of this. The trail. You come around a bend and you see a wagon. You remember that wagon. You come around
The wagon I grew up in, guys. That's where I slept.
Oh, you poor thing.
And you come around the corner, and still lying there in front of the cabin is the.
That's where I left him.
Jesus Christ, man.
Look. Oh, look at that.
No.
Just like
What's
I
wrong
left.
with you? That is a corpse.
I really want to cast animate objects in the corpse. So bad.
And then
So bad.
and stand behind him and
Drops
do
to his knees.
and do a voice. "I'm back, Tim. I love
Tim.
you."
You've always been a great disappointment.
Oh, I want to do it so bad.
Oh man.
Wait, so
Hey.
how long is this corpse been face down in the dirt?
You guys have been on the road
ages.
for months now, so
I bet he's a little stinky.
yes.
No, the embalming fluid I put in him has
It is.
preserved him mighty nice.
It has. The embalming fluid doesn't smell good, but
You preserved him, yet you just left him face down on
Probably smells better than a rotting corpse, though.
probably.
So good
yeah.
job, Tim.
Yeah.
What else would you do with a dead god? Not preserve him?
I mean, probably not left on the floor. Well, did you at least check his pocket?
How many gods have you buried in your lifetime? Hmm. Exactly. Are there any clues on how he died?
Things I should have done months ago.
I didn't know to do these things at the time.
I didn't care at the time, I don't think.
Yeah. Roll a medicine check.
I pressed it. Press it again.
Press again. There you go.
Here we go.
14, 12. Tim, yeah, you didn't really. Perhaps you
There's some
didn't.
bad rolls.
Perhaps you didn't really understand enough at the time to check his body for what killed him. But you, with your experience with battle wounds, and
He has a journal in his left pocket.
it looks like he's taken a number of wounds. Almost, and there is a dagger in his hand. It looks like he was in a fight, and it looks like he died fighting something. He has a number of bruises on his body that look like bludgeoning wounds, and a couple scorch marks on his body.
What did you do, Tim?
I don't know. He was dead when I came back. I don't think I killed him.
I
Not 100% sure on that, but
don't remember
pretty-
killing him.
Like this when I found it.
Can you trust your memory?
I mean, slightly less than everyone else, I suppose. All right, let's get in this cabin.
All right, Tim, you go into the cabin, and it is pretty much exactly the way you remember leaving it. There's a bed, a table.
This is where I cooked for him.
Yep.
He would share his scraps with me. I'd eat it just like a real human when I thought I was human.
This is not.
Ah, the memories. Let's burn this cabin to the ground.
You got it, Tim. You
and
say the word.
at the far end, there is the fireplace.
Oh yeah, you gotta read the book by the light of the fire.
Chapter the first.
He gets in a pair of reading glasses we've never seen before.
I am God.
Dear diary, I met my true love today. It was a butterfly. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll.
Cabin have dynamic lighting.
No, it doesn't. Why does it not have dynamic lighting?
Look, I can move to the walls.
Oh no! Hold on, let me fix that.
No.
There you go. That's a window on the right side.
Yeah. This cabin's already getting better and better.
All right. Yeah, you pull out the journal or the book of your god, Tim, and you look at it again, and as you open it, you clearly see the same thing that you saw when you opened it back at that party, what seems like ages ago. On the front page, it says the Journal of Enebrin Marbrand.
Marble man.
The Marlboro Man,
Finally.
says the spider. The fireplace is not lit currently.
Why is this?
Okay.
It's okay. My eyes glow.
Well, I think you have to have a fireplace on, don't you? Oh, yeah, there you go.
Sacred
Does
flame it.
radiant damage light up fireplaces?
I don't know. I'll allow it in this instance though.
For the holy light.
That's the holy light.
It has holy kindling that lights
That's right.
the sacred flame.
This is a holy cabin.
This fireplace has been blessed.
This rundown cabin is a place of God.
Tim, you begin as you light the fireplace and you sit down next to it. It's an image that you remember seeing from your god before. Him sitting in front of this fireplace, sketching in his
Look, I know he was a regular human, okay?
writing in his journal at
We'll
night.
also come
I'm
crashing
not completely stupid
anymore.
anymore.
And that first page, it says the Journal of Enebrin Marbrand on it. And as you get near the fireplace, you see that ink on that first page, and then just a smattering of some other ink in a more bluish color that was not there before. As you turn the pages of this journal, you see that it is a journal. It appears to be just sort of a mundane, here's what happened today, here's what we ate for dinner. It seems very almost tedious.
Book of wisdom.
It's almost tedious, and it's because and you remember most of this, that it was just you and him going about your daily lives for so long. But as you turn the pages, you see in postscript and footnotes etched along the edges, there are additional entries to some of the days. You flip to one page, about a third of the way in, and those journal entries seem to be, you only seem to be mentioned about a quarter of the way into the journal, as if the journal had been started before your entrance.
I am time memoriam.
Before Tim.
That's right. And then at some point in the journal, you just start being mentioned as part of the everyday activities. Sometime into that, you see a postscript written on the side of one of the days, and it says, I taught him to play marbles today. No recognition. That's all that's written there. And you flip a couple more pages, a couple more days go by, and you see a footnote on the page. And it says, he asked what his name was today. I gave him his initials. He asked what it stood for. ... No recognition. You flip a few more pages, and it looks like a solid 3 or 4 days pass in the book. And it says, I mentioned the god Lathander today. I spoke at some length on his church and his faith. ... No recognition. Tim, you were engrossed in this book reading. Halfred, will you roll a perception check for me? Halfred, and where are you, Kaz? You're in the cabin. Halfred, will you roll?
In the doorway.
As Tim is reading, Halfred, at first you're not sure if it's anything. You think it might just be the forest, but you hear what you think you might be movement somewhere in the trees to the south. Tim, you are still flipping through the book, and a few entries later it says, I talked about Father today. Tim asked many questions and seemed interested. I thought for a brief moment I saw some recognition, but no, ... No recognition. I'm beginning to lose hope.
What?
Mr. Pooh will not be ignored.
And Tim, you are flipping through this book, and as you flip a couple more pages, a couple more days that don't have any notes, and the journal entries end, and there is a page written that is entirely in this script that is only visible by the light you're reading it. It says, "To my brother, should you ever read this, I've been trying for weeks to get you to remember, to see some recognition or some sign of the man you were. The memories seem gone, but you were still there. Your voice is the same one I grew up with. You still love to play in the dirt and mud just like you did as a child, though that has developed into what I fear is an unhealthy obsession with leeches now. I'm waiting to tell you everything. Why? I'm not sure. I think I'm afraid that I will find you are truly gone. But if you are reading this, you at least know enough to know the truth. Your name is Timerius Ingstadt Marbrand, second son of the Marbrand family. Now just the two of us. Or is it just me now? I still can't tell. You were a devoted cleric of Lathander before I pulled you away to the glory of the adventurer's life. And we were successful for a time, until we found that damnable tower. We found those terrible experiments inside. People being turned to stone, the brains of men being shoved into machines. And finally, the worst of them, souls themselves being transferred to statues of wood and stone. And then, the dragon. It'll be my eternal shame that I ran when you fell. But I did, only to see you subjected to that terrible experiment yourself. I couldn't get you out alone, so I hired the Zentarum to steal you from that place. And since then, I've been trying to bring back your memories. I did recover something of your old life, of your sword and shield, blessed by Lathander himself. I was able to escape with the sword, though the shield is still in that terrible tower. I've buried it in the cave to the north of your favorite place in the forest. I hope someday soon I may gift it back to you, my brother." And Tim, that is the final entry in the page. And as you read the final entry, Halfred, you see emerging from the forest two figures that look much like Tim. And the smaller one in the robe begins to raise his hands and cast a spell. And that, I believe, is where we will end it for tonight.
Whoa.
That was cool. That was really cool. You're the brother, the dude's brother.
My name is Timerius.
Oh, man.
That's the takeaway.
All
Wow.
right. You guys got some experience. You killed 3 Ettercaps worth 450 experience apiece.
Okay.
And you killed 1 sword spider worth 3,900 experience.
So a total of 5,250 divided by 5. 1,050. Plus what we had before. 49 something. Was it 49?
49,876.
Thank you. Gives us a total of 5,926. 50926.
All right. We'll come back next week and we'll see how Tim deals with discovering he was once a man.
Ooh. That's real good. I used to be a god.
That's the wrong takeaway, Tim.
I am invincible.
Thank you to Eric, Heather, Reese, Rochelle, and Raymond. I am Chris. We were here doing D&D 5th edition Storm King's Thunder every week.
Watch me cut across my chest.
We will see
No
you
pain.
next time.